record it and we'll pop it online for people. Well, we'll decide.
And good luck, I think is the phrase.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm going to mute myself. So,
fine.
all right.
Yeah, I might mute myself.
Right. 3, 2, 1.
Go.
We're live.
Aha, got lots of people coming in.
Yeah.
Nice to see everyone coming for their evening to see
Yeah.
what Makaton's doing, which is great. Exciting things to come. I must say that this is our first webinar, but it's great to be able to demonstrate and show you and give you a brief introduction as to what's going on. So we're going to wait until everyone's arrived and then Vicky's going to take us away.
Perfect. We're still loading up, more and more joining. It's quite exciting, isn't it?
It is actually, you can just see the numbers going up.
I want to say hello to everyone because I'm like,
I
oh,
know,
yeah.
you can say.
Yeah. Hello,
hello.
everyone. We know that you can't say hello back.
Yeah, just so you know, as you come in, you won't be able, we can't hear you, but hopefully you can hear us. And you've got a little Q&A button on the lower part of your screen, and you'll be able to ask questions via that button. And we've got a whole host of people here to help filter those questions and ask them to the right people as and when they arise. So hopefully, fingers crossed, you can all hear us. And if you can't, I'm sure we'll have lots of questions popping through any second telling us that you can't hear us. But I think we're good to go. Think we're ready, guys?
Well. Yeah.
Yeah. So welcome. We're delighted that you've joined us today for the Makaton Hub briefing. We've got the little agenda on the screen for you to have a look at. We're going to be looking, discovering the Makaton website and the new look of the website. So I hope you are all really excited to see that. We're going to do a guide of the revised tutor renewal process, and we're going to go through a cash, so card payments, but we're also going to go through a purchase order payment, as I know a lot of you use purchase orders, and it can sometimes be a little bit complicated, and we've tried to automate that process. So hopefully that'll be exciting. And that's where I will hand over to Hannah, and Hannah will take you through the Makaton Hub, which is all of your amazing new benefits that you get as a tutor and for your tutor renewal license fee. And the Makaton Library, which I hope everyone is really excited to have a look at, and also the Makachat function as well, which is a great space for you all to talk to each other, share ideas, and all of your all the things going on and everything Makaton. And then we're going to have a larger question and answer session at the end. But throughout the hour, we are going to look at questions as they come in, and we can answer them sort of on the fly and as they arise. So first of all, I'm just going to do a quick welcome. So I'm Vicky Partridge, and I'm the Director of Digital and Fundraising. I've been working heavily on all the digital changes that are taking place at the minute, and they are very vast, and they've been going on for quite some time. So I'm very excited that they're all coming to fruition. I'm going to now pass over to Stephen Hall, the CEO, to give you a little brief introduction as well.
Hello and good evening, and welcome to our first webinar. So hopefully we will gradually get more polished at these things, but it's just great news to be finally announcing our new website and the whole new membership model that will be following it along. The guys are going to be giving you a walkthrough, and I hope you will be as excited as we are that really Makaton is really starting that long-awaited journey that we've all been talking about. So without further ado, I'm going to pass on to Hannah and just introduce herself.
Okay, so I'm the Director of Memberships and Partnerships, and been working heavily on making sure that we've got the best tutor package for you to be able to support you with every possible tutor need. I'm also a Makaton tutor myself, so myself and Zana have both all had our eyes on the ground to know what it is Makaton needs to sort out. So we've been working on that heavily, and also looking at the public membership as well. So what we're going to offer to our wider community to make sure we can support them with their journey too, so that it doesn't just stop at training and all of the other hard work that you go into, so that they will have that great portal coming along. So yeah, that's a bit about me. Hopefully I've seen you at study days previously as well. So I'm going to hand you over to Zana now.
Thanks, Han. Hello, everyone. I'm Zana from the, well, obviously from the Makaton charity, and I'm the director of the Makaton language programme. I'm just going to be helping out with all the panel questions today, and obviously you'll be hearing a lot from Vicky. I have seen it and it is amazing. You'll be very excited by the end of it, and you'll be as pleased as I am. So I'm very looking forward to seeing some of your responses. So, and Rock, I think you're going to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Rock. Hi everyone. Director of Finance and Services, and just quietly sitting here in the background, observing and looking at the webinar and how everything's working. And I enjoy the next couple of minutes that we're going to be together.
Brilliant. And we've also got Debbie here with us today. She's going to help out answering some questions. I'm sure lots of you know Debbie. She runs a lot of the study days and the tutor relicensing process. So I'm sure you've heard from Debbie lots. So she can answer any questions on that front as well, which is great. Just to let you know, we're going to record this session, so it will be up for people that couldn't make it to see. And if you'd like to have a refresh, you can. And also we've got some user guides. We've been snapping away at the processes that we're going through today. So we've done some user guides which you can use to help support you going forwards and when you'll come to relicensing. So I think without further ado, we might as well dive in and have a look at the new website. So I'm going to switch my share screen over to the new website, which I hope happens seamlessly, unless technology fails me. Can we all see that, guys? Are we looking at the new website? Brilliant. So this is our lovely new website. It's a really lovely, clean, big banner image. I think one of the first things that you'll recognise is that the Makaton logo and signage on the left-hand side of the screen has changed. Now, I hope you've all read your tutor news and understand why we've changed our logo. We did it was very difficult. It was a difficult decision to make, but we decided to change it mainly because the Oki sign was being misused in some areas of society, very negative connotations, and we decided to change the look of it. What we wanted to do is bring a completely fresh feel to Makaton, but also blend it with some traditional. So hopefully you'll all be delighted that the M has made a return. And we've decided to keep it in the lovely bright yellow, and we've put it in a circle to represent Makaton family. So hopefully you're all happy with the changes that we've made, and we did consult tutors on it and get their feedback on it. If we have a look at the top bar on the right, you'll see that we have a menu button, which is a drop-down burger menu, and that houses all of the content of the website there. We have a search bar, and we also have a sign-in page at the top. And this is where you would sign in. I'll show you a little bit later, but this is where you'd sign into your membership section. If we scroll down, we can see that we've got these headers. So we've got the shop, we've got the community, the learn, which houses all our training, finding training, things like that. And we've got the about, which houses all of our what Makaton is, about the Makaton charity, all sorts under there. So you can have a good old explore around. We've got sign of the week on the front page, and we've also got a lot of our news and focus stories as well on the front page here too. For example, if we went into sign of the week, just opening it up, it might be a little slow because I'm double backing. We've got sign of the week. This week's sign is rainbow, and if you have a look down the side, we've got all the other signs of the week housed on the website, so you can go and have a look at those whenever you would like. If you go back to the Makaton sign, and if you hit on the Makaton sign, that will actually take you back to the main page. and then you can navigate again from there. So if we go into About, you can see down here where, so on the right hand side of all the pages, it gives you an index and a itinerary of what's in it, and then you can scroll down and you can look and read through it. What I'll do is I'll just leave this to your own devices really to have a look around the system. I think it's really important to say at this stage that this website it's brand new, and what we've decided to do is we're launching it in stages. Now, you guys, the tutors, we are going to be the very, very first people into it. So we're super excited to have you guys in. It's not going to be open for the general public at this stage. We're going to give you a URL code, and a URL code is what you would put in the toolbar. So if you see at the top here where it says FTP cap, that's the toolbar at the top, and that is the URL code. So what we would do is we will give you the URL code, you will copy and paste it into your toolbar at the top, and it will open up this website. But you're not going to be able to navigate to it from any other pages on the current website. And the current website is staying there for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So we absolutely want to exclusively give you guys, the tutors, full access to it, to look around, to have a look into the system. What you won't be able to do is you won't be able to go onto the shop and buy any goods from the shop, because that will all still be housed on www.makaton.org, so the original, what you're using now, website. And equally, we don't want you putting up any of your events on here for now, because it's not live. It's solely for you guys to have a look around. We want you to relicense on it, which I'll show you the process, and we want you to book your study days on it. And we absolutely want you to have a look around it and access the Makaton Library and the Makachat facilities and all that, but just not the shop and not uploading your events on it. And we're going to try and make it as hard as possible for you to not do it, or to do it. So we're going to try and hide all the links. But if you did stumble across it, please don't buy anything on the shop or upload your events, because they won't go anywhere for now. So I think that's it for the quick show of the website. I don't know if any questions have come in, Zan, that you want me to address now, or if we want to move straight on to the renewing of the license.
No questions.
No questions. Great.
No, which is good, because I get to watch this. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we click up here to the sign-in page, hopefully it's saying there. So this is the sign-in page that you will come to. Now, what you will do for the very first time that you sign in, this will be blank. I've got lots of accounts because I test it all day, every day. So I'm full of accounts. But this is how you will find it. Now, what we would need you to do is to pop your username, and that would be the email address that you get your tutor news through on. It has to be the email address that we have on file for you, because all of your details are preloaded into this system. So you would, in that username, we require you to put in the email address that you receive tutor news on. And I know it seems slightly counterproductive, but you need to go to forgot username, which is down here. See me hover over it? Now, what that will do is that will trigger an email to go to your account, and from that account it will allow you to set up your password from there. At the minute, the system holds your email details, but it has no password in there, so that's what you need to create. Once you set up your password, I'll just drop it in an account here for us. Test. There we go. And I can sign in. Okay, now what you'll notice as soon as you sign in as a tutor, actually the top buttons change, and the website itself, it's responsive to who you are. So as a tutor, you will see completely different things from a core member, so from somebody from the general public. So we've got the online training for tutors, we've got things that only apply to you, so news that will only apply to you. Tutor materials are here. So this won't be shown to just anybody, it's only shown to tutors. And if you have a look at the top, this is my account. So this will say your name here. And this is the name that I've signed in with this time. So if I click on it, on the yellow square, it will then take me to my membership page. And now this is completely bespoke to you, and Hannah is going to talk you through it step by step and show you how you can build it up and put in your profiles, what you like, your name, you know, your mobile numbers and all things like that, any websites associated with you. So I'm not going to talk through that right now, but what I am going to do is I'm going to show you how you would start to relicense. So what you'll notice is 2 alerts will show on your member page. You'll renew your tutor license and also your book a study day. So if we click on renew your license, we will have the relicense renewal page open. Now this is your questionnaire that you will need to complete. And I'm going to quickly go through it now and just show you step by step the kind of things that you might want to add along the way. It's all pretty self-explanatory. So I'm going to say that I'm a teacher. You would put in whatever you are. Now at the top it should say your name. Your name should populate into this bar here, so you know you're on the right page. I'm going to drop in an address. You need to add country here. For some reason, it doesn't seem to add a country for you on its own. If you put in a U, you can then get to United Kingdom very quickly. Hopefully it will populate your email address. We need a work organisation for you. If you don't have a work organisation, if you're self-employed, just populate your address again in there. That's fine. But it does need to have something in there. In the organisation name, you can just put your name or just put self-employed. That's absolutely fine. Let us know how you'd like to be contacted, work or home. And then we start the questionnaire. So what sector do you work in? I'm going to say I work in education. It will drop me back down to it. Just takes a little bit of time. And I'm going to say I work for preschool. Are you DBS checked? So yes. Your role. Let's say work. So when we come to question 5, have you delivered any Makaton workshops in the last year? I'm sure a lot of you have. So I'm going to just show you a little bit how to fill this in. So you would click yes, and it would open up and it would expand the section. Now in here, we just need to know what you've delivered. So I could say I've delivered level 1, and I've delivered 10 workshops over the year, and I delivered it to 100 people, for example. Every line you add, you must click save. And that will save that line, and then I can add another one if I wanted to. So then I could go on to say, you know, I did a level 2 or 3 and how many I did. So hopefully that will make it much easier for you, and you need to save each one. Have you delivered any other Makaton training? Oh, sorry, question 6, I'm jumping ahead. Have you delivered any bespoke Makaton? And again, if you click yes, it will expand that section. And you just go up to here to add new record. And you can then click and say what you've done. You may have done some refresher sessions, for example, and you may have done 5 of those and to 50 people. And we just need to save if that's all that you've done. If you want to do save and new, then you can do, you know, you may have done other courses, and you can just carry on that way and keep building up your profile of what you've delivered over the past year. And finally, question 7, have you delivered any of the marketing? If you click yes, you get just a free text box that you can then type in anything you like. So you might say, I did 2 one-on-one sessions, for example. I'm just making sure I haven't got Mr. Save out of there. And then, are you part of a tutor network? If you are, you can pop yes. it should drop you back down. You have to be a little bit patient. So it might be Cheshire. It might be, I think it was Helen Adams in Cheshire. So you might want to save that. That might be where your main link to. And then fill this in. So are you employed, self-employed? How satisfied are you? Well, I'm very satisfied at the minute. Great new things coming about. And then you've got questions. If it's got a star next to it, that needs populating. If it hasn't, you can leave it free. Declaration here, now at the minute they're not linked, but if you click on the terms and conditions, they will be linked to the page where all the terms and conditions are. You can read through them, but they're also, all the terms and conditions are housed in the Makaton Library, which Hannah will be showing you a bit later, and you can view them at any point, and you can have a read over them at any point. So from here we're going to submit our oh, I forgot, so it will ping back if I haven't put something in, which it has done here. I haven't put in my country. Here we go. And then we can submit. So what that does then is it takes you to a payment page. Sorry, I'm just moving you all out the way, you're in my way there. So payment page, and we're going to pay by card. So this is a straight card payment. If you don't have any PO terms, if you're not linked to an organisation that's paying for your membership, the only option you'll have is to pay by card. So we click pay by card, and that will take you to your payment page. Now, I know a lot of you will want to pay for this and buy your study days all in one. So once you come through to this page, if you have a look up here, you'll see in a basket in the blue section, it says number 1. Now that means that I can move away from this page now, and I know that all those details are saved, and I can pop back into my account, and I can click on book a study day if I want to book a study day at the same time. Now what we've got is we've listed all the study days here. We've got 2 sessions, they're both remote. You have to do session 1 and session 2. They're £49 for the 2 together. And I suggest that you book them at the same time. So you can pick and choose which sessions you'd like to do, but I would book session 1 first and then session 2 afterwards. And so session 1 happens before session 2, they follow on. It's as simple as going on, picking what session you want, and click register myself. The system will remember your details, they'll know who you are. You can then navigate back. So if we say don't forget to book session 2, if we click on that, you can then navigate back to the page, and then you can book your session 2. So if we go to a session 2 here, and we can register myself on that. And then we can go to proceed to checkout. Click proceed to checkout. And then it takes you back to your shopping cart, where you can see that you've got your booking, your study days in there as a booking. And then you've also got your membership fee in here. This pay later button doesn't work if you haven't got a PO. Please don't press it if you don't have a purchase order in place, because it sort of wipes the cart clean. So don't press the pay later button. Just carry on as normal. So it tells you all of your costings here, and then I'm going to pop in a payment. So I'm just going to pop to get my card number, which is I hope I'm back onto the website now. Are you back on the website, Han? Can you see the website? Great. And then pop in the card details. It's a Visa card. I'm going to put in these are just dummy card details. If you come down here to choose another address, you might need to set this up if we haven't got an address already in the back end for you. Now, a lot of you will already have address details stored, but if you don't have address details stored, you will need to just pop it in there. Click OK. You'll only need to do it once, and once it's in the system, it will be remembered, but it's just your card details, and then we're going to submit the order. Taking a little time, and we should get an order confirmation come through. It outlines what your sessions are, and it also will send you an email to the email we have stored for you. But if you'd like to send the email to anybody else, so if it's going to an employer who's paying for it, or if you need to get reimbursement on it, you can also just pop in the email address there, press send, and it will send this over to them. So if we pop back to the membership account, so pop back to your membership account, you can see now that the alert details have gone. So the tutor relicense alert has gone, and the study day alert has gone. And if you click into history, this is where all of your history is stored and housed for all your payment details. So if we go and have a look under your membership, you will see there that your license fees are there. Once the process has been run in the back end of the system, it will jump into receipts, and you'll be given a receipt then to have a look at, so you'll know that your membership's gone through. We just say it takes up to 3 working days, but we process the runs every day. So once the runs go through, they'll be showing there. And if you go into your courses, you'll also, fingers crossed, you should be able to see all of your courses that you're booked onto as well. So we can see here we've got the event date, and it's a remote study day, and Debbie would then look at like normal, about a month before she'd send out details of how to what's on the agenda, and then the week before they will send out the links to the study days and so forth. I'm going to take a little break there and just see if there's any questions come through, Zan. Anything that's sort of a theme that's
Lots
showing?
of positive. Yeah, so slick. People are loving it. It looks great. Some lovely things.
Brilliant. That's amazing. So keep an eye on if there's any.
My way through. I am getting there.
Yeah.
There is one question around are the prices we're seeing the actual cost for the study days, and that is correct. The price has been reduced this year because it's now online, so we have cut some of the expenses because we haven't gone for looking for paying for venues and for lunch, so that cost is the right cost for the study days, but you will need to book onto both. The first one will be the one charge, and the second one will be for free because they're in 2 parts, because no one wants to sit at a screen all day. So yeah, that's that one.
Brilliant. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly pop out of this account, because this one isn't set up for a PO, and I know that a lot of you deal with purchase orders. I'm going to quickly whiz through the purchase order process, so you can have a look at that, because it's slightly more complicated. And then after that, you definitely get onto the more exciting bits, which is Hannah's bit, and she will show you what extra benefits you get for your membership and all the wonderful things we've been working on over the past year. So I'm just going to sign out of this account, and I'm going to go into another test account. So again, we would sign in. I'm going to put in test 20. No. So it's test 20. And this one is set up as if you were a purchase order payer. So the first thing you'll notice if you go into your account is you will notice that underneath your name is who you're linked to generally. So I can see that under test 20, so that's my name and this is the account that's set up, I'm actually linked to the Test Academy, and they will be the ones that are paying my my license fee for me. So if I click on renew my tutor license, it's exactly the same process from this point. So I'm going to whiz through for you so you don't have to go through it again. If we've got your home details already in, as you'll see, it will already populate for you. So that's all nice and clean. The organisation will populate for you as well. And I'm going to just drop in the address there. I'm going to put the that's always trips me up try not to forget to pop that in, otherwise it will kick it back and tell you you've done something wrong. Like I said, if it's got a little star next to it, it needs to be populated in some way. If it hasn't got a little red star next to it, you don't have to answer it. But I'm just going to whiz through here. So I'm not going to use, if I do tick yes to these, it would open up those windows. But for this purpose and for quick and ease, I'm going to say no to all of these. I'm going to say I'm employed. I'm going to say I'm very satisfied. Now, what you'll notice is a slight difference in the form at the bottom. You've got the declaration, which you will need to tick and say that you want to, you accept the terms and conditions. But you'll get this question: is someone else paying for your license? And at this point, you must tick yes here if you are paying by a purchase order. And once you've ticked yes, we click submit. Now, it will take a second just to refresh the page, but now you'll see it. It's popped up, pay by purchase order. It's a red box, and you must tick on that box if you want to pay by purchase order. So I'm going to click through and I'll show you what happens from there. What it does is it takes you back to your account page, and as you'll see, under the purchase order section, you'll have a pro forma invoice notice shows, and you'll see that some dues are ready to be paid. If we click open up the pro forma, you'll see that there's a pro forma there for you to download and pull off and give to your employer or your finance department. It has the test academy, so whoever's paying for it, and it will also have your name. So I'm test 20, but it will have your name here, so it clearly shows who the bill is for, and there'll be an outstanding balance there as well. So you can pull that down straight away from your membership page. Now, what you do once you've got your purchase order from your finance department, you'll need to come to this little edit button, and we need to click the edit button, and this is where you upload your purchase order details. So we'll put in the number, so we're going to go in 9989, just whatever the purchase order is on your purchase order. And then we need to also upload the document itself. So we're going to select, and we're going to select a file. I'm just going to click any file to select. It will only accept PDFs, JPEGs, things like that, so they can't be changed in the back office at all. And once you're happy with the purchase order and the file, we save and close. Now, what that means is when you look back at your purchase order, you will see that there's a PO number in the system then. And what that indicates to us in the staff site is that we can see that a purchase order is uploaded. Now, I hope my glamorous assistant, Stephen Hall, has been into the back of the staff site, and he's going to actually approve the purchase order, just so I can show you what happens next and what the next stage is. So by Stephen going in and approving the purchase order, once we're happy with it, that will trigger an invoice to be sent to your page, and it means that you can pull down the invoice and then give that to your finance department for payment. So we can have a look let me just refresh it. So we can see that Stephen has approved the invoice, and if we pop to the membership section, we can then see that a renewal invoice notice has been generated. So that wasn't there previously, it will be once it's approved. If you click on it and open it up, you can then see it looks very similar to the pro forma, but what it has done is it's added the purchase order details. So your finance department will know exactly which purchase order it relates to and what payment is due and what balances are due. So you can pull that off and you can give that to your finance department then for full payment. Once that payment has been made, your membership receipt will sit in here. So once the payment comes in and the payment is run, the membership receipt will sit in here, and away you go. So I'm hoping that that system is much quicker and cleaner. Ideally, we guys to sort of self-serve and do this yourself, although I have been speaking to Debbie about it. We can do it on your behalf if needs be. So if you need to send in your pro forma, we can do it, but it's very simple to do it yourself on your page, and in the invoice can be sent out as well to your finance department if you don't want to give it to them physically, and we can do that, but you can also pull it down and email it off to them. Sam, I don't know if you've got any questions over that, because it's a little bit of a different complicated system.
No, just about the order processing, purchase order processing, which I think you're going to answer.
The what, sorry?
The purchase order, the PO process, sorry.
Yeah, so this is the PO process for what we've been through. So everything is all very similar, apart from when you get to the end of that tutor relicensing form, you will have a different section, and it will say, do you want somebody else to pay for it? And if you want to add a PO, you must click yes, and you must click pay by PO. And then that will take you through to this section where you can add in your purchase order in your membership section. So you've got full control, it's full self-serve. You do that by obviously clicking on the little icon, the little pencil, and that's where you can add in all of your purchase order details. And that whizzes straight off to us, and then we can approve it from there and go through. So it's a much slicker system. And once it's processed, your alert, so the alert to say that you need to pay will go. The alert for a while will stay on because we haven't processed the payment yet, but as soon as the payment has been processed, that's how you know that you've paid, and that's gone through for you.
Yeah, thanks for that, Vicky, because that's explained a few questions. Is what if my organisation will pay for me? So that's how they would pay for you, via the purchase order option.
Yeah,
Great.
definitely. So I think that's, sorry, we've got some more, Stephen.
Yeah, there's only one other part I was going to say is on the website there's also a little green help button,
Yes,
which is down in the on each page you're on, and what we're doing is creating a little help space where you can type in some notes where you are, and also take a picture, a screenshot automatically of the area that you've got a problem with. That comes straight back to our help desk, and we can come straight back to you with some help and get you going again and operational. So hopefully that will cut down the aggravation factor of trying to log in and get hold of folk on the telephone, and we'll be publishing an SLA about how quickly we'll respond to it, and clearly during working hours we'll be there, particularly as you start coming into the system first time around. We're going to be there pretty much every day, all day, just trying to make sure we help you through the system.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point as well. Like, it is a new system for you guys. It's a new system for us. So, you know, we do please ask your patience. We're trying as best as we can to get you through. And the reason why we only want tutors in the first 2 to 3 weeks is because we can give you our undivided attention. Really, we can make sure we get everything spot on for you guys through the system. And we don't want lots of people coming through at this point. We want to get it right with you guys. So please do bear with us, and we are trying our hardest. Obviously we're all at home, you can see us all at home as well, so we're not in the office, and but we're pressing on anyway. So that's the main thing.
In terms of any other questions, I think there are a couple of other ones around process. That the aim of this is to try and make it as streamlined as possible to help, but clearly the team are still going to be there. They're still able to do and support you in various unique features that you have. Perhaps you're a charity that needs specific help and a specific invoice emailed over to you, or you might need some help because you've booked a previous study day, and the study days we're now putting up are slightly cheaper, so you have a credit balance and you want to allocate some of that credit balance. So there are a variety of things that we can do to help and to work on that, but the aim is to try and provide as much self-service as we can, and also to give you much greater visibility as to what your account is, where your balances are, and how you can manage that.
Yeah, brilliant. So I'm going to hand over to Hannah now, and she's going to take you through your exciting new benefits and what we've been working on in the Makaton Library and Makachat areas. So Hannah, shall I stop sharing my screen and you want to take control?
Yeah. So. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, great, thank you. Okay, so I'm currently logged in as a tutor, and as you can see, my tutor homepage is slightly different. So we've got on here what's relevant to us as tutors. So we've got advertise, library, Makachat and shop. So it has a slightly different view to what a community user may have. So here, our direct access is where you can go into the library and into Makachat. I hope you like the bit of Makachat wording there. So let me go through here. But first, before I go into Makachat, which is really exciting, I'm going to go into your account area. So by doing that, I will click onto this button here, which links me directly to it. And as you can see, I've slightly personalised my account. So I can add a picture of myself. And here is just showing who my organisation is. So if you're part of an organisation and you pay via purchase order, that will show here. So I've also, to mention, is my Makaton ID. So this will be different to your current tutor number. And going forwards, we will no longer be using tutor numbers. We'll be using our Makaton ID, but that will be found within your account area here. So we've got here my details, and be sure if you want to add your mobile number and your work phone, because if you are to have any orders delivered to you, we can send you a text message to let you know where your order is, which is pretty fancy for Makaton, I would say. So within here as well, I've got a little bit of a biography, so which is really nice, because if someone was to view my profile, say for example another tutor or a member of the public, they can see where my experience is and where my interests lay, so they can really work on that area. You can also add your social profile, so if you ever wanted to link your Twitter, Facebook or Instagram account, you can do that here. And to edit any of these, you just simply click the pencil, and it would open it up. You can type away, tutor network, I'm going to say Birmingham, and then you would just select save. And that has now been updated. So it's fairly simple, very slick. And then down here, we've got my addresses. So what we would like to do is to have your preferred address. So when you're going in, I've currently just got a home address. That's not my address, by the way. But what you can do is you can have a work address, a home address, etc. And to do that, you would just add, and you'd put in your preferred address, and then you would then select whether it's your preferred mailing, shipping, or billing address. So be sure to take a note of that. Okay, so that's a little bit of the profile area. And just that you can see, if you were to select view my profile, this is what other people would see. So they wouldn't see all of your personal details, but they would see your email and telephone number, as well as your biography. If I go back home, okay, so another thing actually, which is quite exciting, the big question of evaluation forms. What are we doing with those? So as you'll see, we've put out a Google Forms for now as an interim basis, and I want you to continue using those until we have this process up and running, because it was going to give access to your participants into the 30-day free trial of the core membership. And where that will land, so what we plan to do is you will have a joining email which you'll send to your participants, and within that joining email they'll receive a link for the evaluation form, and within there you need to populate on that joining email your Makaton ID number as well as your name and the course that you've had, so that your participant can then put that into the evaluation form. And where that will land is within workshops. So within workshops, it displays workshops you're currently running, previous workshops, and then this is where the evaluation forms will land. So no more paper, haha. So I've got a evaluation form in here. So if I want to view it, I would then select download, and here it would appear. So it comes up in single lines of what your answers are, and basically that allows you to get that feedback immediately. And in return, the prize for the participant completing it is that they would then get access into the core membership, which will really support them going forwards with their journey, to make sure that it just doesn't stop at training, and that they can continue and to mingle within the network, and also to relook at those core signs that they've learnt to make sure that they're keeping in tip-top shape. Okay, so within there, that's workshops. You can also change your password if you need to as well. And within here, we'll have getting started guide. So when people are needing support, possibly, you can go into that getting started guide. But we also have this very fancy little help option here, which will be populated with questions suitable for that page. And you can also send a message into us too. And if it's something that's really confusing, you can send us a screenshot to show us exactly what it is that you're talking about. Okay, so we also would like as well, this is an optional, but it'd be nice to have your interest, because this is all supporting us with building information and data, which will be the same for our community users as well. So there's just a few questions there, and again, want to save that. So I'm leaving you all on edge. Let's go into the Makaton area. So the Makaton area at the moment, we are going to have two. So one is going to be a public Makaton, so that will be open to any members of the public who join the membership. And then we have a tutor Makaton, which is exclusive for tutors. So members of the public can't go into there. This is a sole area for tutors only. And within there, it's going to be great, because it means that we can communicate with tutors from up and down the country and find out what everyone's doing and gain advice from each other. We'll be in there as well as TNC, but we will also have admins within there. So our moderators will be our senior tutors and our ambassadors. But within there as well, you can equally chat with each other and start topics. It's really exciting, because we're looking into possibly having a weekly topic area where a tutor with some expertise within an area can then hold an hour session possibly, and have a questions and answer session so that we can all keep in the loop with everybody. So that's a bit about Makaton. So here we can display announcements. So this is a really good place to keep an eye on, because anything out that's coming out that's new, we can keep them in here to keep you all up to date. And if you want to subscribe to make sure that you're up to date with all of the announcements, you would simply press subscribe. Bear with me. My mouse is playing up. Well, what you normally do is you press subscribe and it will show that you're subscribing. And then what that will do is then anytime there is, there we go. Anytime there is a new announcement within there, you'll be emailed to notify that there's something new going on. So what we can do then is we can start a discussion. So what you would do is you would press add discussion forum, and you can then start a thread like this. So I've populated this one earlier, so just letting you know who I am and wanting to join a tutor network. So this is where anyone in Birmingham may want to say, I'm from Birmingham too, this is the tutor network, you're welcome to join. And to see that, I've got one topic here which shows the response. So a tutor has said that they're in Birmingham and they'd be welcome to join them to their network. So that's a little bit of a brief introduction to Makaton, and I think the possibilities are endless, and it's going to be something that will grow with time, and something that will really bring us together more and keep us more connected, so that we've got that good conversation between us and that good communication. Right, so that's a little bit about Tutor Makaton. Has anyone, I'll stop for any questions there. I realised I didn't stop at the account profile area. Have I got any questions, anyone?
No, I think it's just we're answering them as we go along.
Okay.
There's specific ones, but anything that I think we need to bring to the table just yet.
The only one that might be worth saying is that we're not inviting in at this stage non-tutors, but the aim, and Han, perhaps you just give a quick overview of, in terms of verbally, the agenda for membership and wider access to perhaps the 30-day trial and those sort of things that will be coming in some
Yeah, of course. Good point. Great question. So
and people who have already been on the courses
yes.
Recently, yeah.
Good point. Thank you very much. Okay, so the evaluation forms, what are we doing with those, and the 30-day free trial? So when we come to launch that, as Vicky has said, you're going to be exclusively in here first. When we're ready for your participants to go in, the first stage will be for anybody who has attended online training since March. So we're only backdating it from March with the training. So they will be the people who will gain the first access into the system. Going forwards, any participants attending your training can also have that 30-day free trial. So what they will have as part of their trial, which I'll go through in a moment, is they will have access to the community Maka chat, which is where you can go in as tutors as well to support them with any questions and generally make them feel part of the Makaton community. So that's an area they'll have access to. And part of that, they'll have access into the Makaton Library. So let's just go into there and show you what they will gain as well as yourselves. So if I go here to the Makaton Library, there will be other ways around the site to get into the Makaton Library as well, but I really want to get you familiar to your account area. So this is the Makaton Library. And this is where all of our symbols and signs will be being stored. And this is what you have access to at current. So when you come in and relicense, you will have access to all of these. So within here, we have our initial folders, which is core vocabulary, and you have the ability to download the core vocabulary as well. And we made this decision because, you know, you're making resources day in, day out, you're working with people and you're delivering training. So actually you need access to the core vocab, and that will expand as we go along. So anybody who's been on a 30-day free trial will be able to view the core vocabulary, but they won't be able to download it. So it'll be there as a library for them to refresh their memories and going forwards. So we then have fingerspelling, which is also available within the 30-day free trial. Core resources. So these resources are going to be anything that will be suitable for them. So within there we'll have different folder types which will be populated as we go along, and I can really see this expanding and growing as well. So that's that one. And then free resources. So anybody who has a free account, so anyone who hasn't paid for a membership, they would still get access to the current free resources that they get on the previous website. It will just be housed within the library instead. So they'll have access to the free resources, and within there we have word lists, and we have everything else that's also free on the website. That will be available within the 30-day free trial too. And our charity reports and guides, and also the research is going to be made easily available to people to see as well. So that will be easily searchable, and that's also going to be within your area too. So that's a little bit of an overview of those folders. So let's get back into the good bits. So what you can see here, this will be your home landing page. And essentially what we're creating is a Google search for Makaton, which is quite revolutionary really, considering the history of Makaton, but we're getting there, and we're coming from a good place. So you can see anything that's been recently added. So if you've seen here and checked out the new training sessions, you will recognise some of these videos that are coming in, and you can also see the most popular searches. So people like cake, so that one's appeared there. So how we use the Makaton search, there's various ways, but one of the easiest ways is to search here. So if I want to search for a rabbit, because that's what those children in the sign are saying, in the picture even, I'm going to search rabbit. So there's different ways. I'm going to show you this one first. So if I just put rabbit in, I'm then going to have a search of anything related to rabbit. But actually it's a little bit too much, not quite what I was asking for. So if I want more specifically just the symbol, I can select it within this area here and press search, and then it will only show me that rabbit. Now, if I go a little bit further and I click on the image, it will show here which folder it's from, what it represents, and a little bit of an example as well. So that's how you can do a search. Now, another great feature of the library is that you can have your own favourites section, which is an area which I think will be great. So within here, what I can do quickly, if I wasn't to know anything else, I can just add it to my favourites. So I will add that there, and you can see here it's now been populated. Now if I want various folders, you can make numerous amount of folders, there is no limit. So I'm going to create a new one. So I'm going to create one for home. So I'm just going to add that, and it immediately goes in there. Now how I know which favourites I'm on is by selecting it, and it highlights it purple and it will populate it there. So now if I want to search for a chair, because that's something I want within my home, I'm going to forget that I can do any type, and I'm just going to press search. And this is what comes out. So if I want to add it in another way, I can just select this little button here, add, add, add. So now I've got all 3 types of how to sign it, symbol it, and I can see the line drawing as well, and that's automatically been populated in here. So that's a little bit of an overview of how to search. I'm not going to give it all away, because I want you to have a look around yourself and your relicense and see what's available. But another really great functionality is what we want to create and stop people from doing is stopping you from having to reinvent the wheel. So tutors from up and down the country are making resources, and without a doubt, someone from Wales or someone from Scotland has created the same resource. So what we want to do is we will be able to put them into this library area. Now this area is solely for tutors. This is not going to be Makaton approved. It's just going to be an area where tutors can upload and share. It will be a great place to add resources into, so that you've got an area essentially where you can go to. So we're going to have like our own Twinkle, really. So it'll be a Makaton's version of Twinkle. Now, if you wanted to upload into here, you can see this button here, Add Assets. I've already pre-populated it with something, because this is one I did earlier. But all you would do is you would add files, and it would then open up your folder area, and then you can just select it. Let's put COVID-19 in there. I'm going to add that. I'm going to open it to my tutor area, and then I would then select next. I'm not going to go through to the whole process, but what that would then do is then it would then populate the tutor share bank. So that's a little bit about that area, and not to worry if it's gone through a little bit quickly and you're not quite sure. There will be getting started guides to remind you of how to do this as well. So I'm going to go back home. Let me just see if there's anything else I want to go through. No, I think that's it. So as you'll see as well, we've got some new images which change as we go along. And there is another advanced search which you can go into as well to really define further what it is exactly you want to do. But in the meantime, the Google search bar type facility, Makaton search bar, is pretty good. So what you want to then do is probably go back to the Makaton Hub. And it will bring you back to your account profile area. Okay, so are there any questions on that section? I can see that all panelists are typing away, so I assume there are a few.
We're working through it. We're working through, Han.
Okay, do you think there's any that are worth mentioning to everyone?
No, just lots of lovely, amazing comments. It's really lovely doing this.
I want to switch over and have a look.
Sorry, I'm working my way through. I'm getting there.
Okay, great. So whilst we're there, another area to show you is history. So history, just to remind you, is where anything you would have paid for will be in this area. So it's all housed within the one section, which is where Vicky went through previously. So if you've made any orders, that will be within here. I haven't made any orders on this one. I know I did, I booked a study day, I've forgotten about that one. So I booked both my study days, and just to note as well, and to remind you that you need to book 2 sessions. You only need to pay for the one, because essentially it's the same, it's a study day, but it's across 2 days. So there we go. And then my membership here, so I've relicensed very early. And you can see here that I have now relicensed, and it will all be housed within this area. Okay. So that was a quick overview of the new exciting Makaton to come, and what we'll be able to have access to. So hope you enjoyed that. Looks like everyone's busy away typing, so I assume that's a positive.
Yeah, lots of lovely things coming in about the library. Everyone's
brilliant.
Absolutely loving it.
There's lots of questions about, obviously we've got the core vocabulary in, that's where we've started, and we want to put all the extra resources in, and we have already started to do that, but we have, it's one of my objectives, in fact, to get as many as we can within the next year. So we will just be adding them as soon as possible, as soon as we can. But what we do need to do is to make sure it's the definitive, it's right. So we haven't just gone and pushed everything in. What we're doing is making sure we check everything before it goes in.
Yeah, and that's a really great point, and this is going to be the definitive as well, and we're all going to have access to it. So and you can use it on any portal. You can use it on your phone, your iPad, your laptop computer, any device. You'll be able to have access to it, so it'll be really great for when you're on the go and on the move.
You can even use it on your television.
Even use it on your television. Yeah, it's quite fancy, really. It's really revolutionised us. Another thing to mention, actually, with the core membership, that won't be launched until a later date. Just to reiterate, Vicky, what Vicky said, it will be for tutors exclusively only, and then it will be for those participants who've attended training, and then we will then open up the membership to the wider public. So we really want to have that phased approach to make sure that we get it right initially. But just to let you know, the core membership will be an individual one, and then we'll have a core family group membership, which will allow up to 4 people under one account, and they will have the same access as a core account, which will be the core vocabulary, the finger spelling, the core and free resources, and access to the research and report guides. But we'll keep you updated with more information and probably let you know about that in Makachat and via an email as well. So look forward to seeing you.
And there were a couple of questions, Hannah, around Makaton Friendly. I know we're doing some stuff on that front.
Yes, so Makaton Friendly as well. That will be we're looking for later on this year to launch a membership for them as well. So we're currently reviewing it. So we've currently put it on hold because with COVID, people to go out, so we thought it was a great time to revise Makaton Friendly and also look at how we support them further as well as an organisation. So what we're looking to do is to create a similar area for them within the library, and they would have access dependent on which level of Makaton Friendly they are, whether they're bronze, silver or gold, but we'll send you some more information about that nearer the time. Would depend on what level of access they have to the assets. But the minimum will be what they are taught within those taster session types, so that they've got that minimum amount of vocabulary just to really be able to support them and go forward. They'll also have access into the Makachat where tutors can go in there as well and support them with questions too. So it doesn't stop, the support doesn't stop at training. It's an ongoing journey, giving that community support and access which people have needed and wanted for a long time. So it's really exciting to see that it's coming to fruit.
We've got a few questions just around adding events, saying where do they add events, and just want to clear it up that at the minute just keep adding your events, your workshops to the old website, the normal page. Once we go live with this to the public, which will be in about 3 weeks time, we will transfer all of the events on the old website into the new website, and you'll know when it goes live. There'll be a massive launch over it. We'll send out all of the details to everybody. It'll be on our social media pages. So at the minute, just keep doing what you're doing and upload your events to the old website. And then the other big questions coming through is when can we get our hands on it? Everyone wants to get their hands on it. So we're going to say it will be next week. Ideally, we like to go at the start of the week, Monday, Tuesday next week. But as soon as we're happy with it and we've tidied up a few issues, we will send out the URL code in an email to you guys. Once you get that code, you're good to go. It will be live and you can go.
So it's exciting stuff, and it's not far away either. So I think that's brought us to the end of those sections. Yeah.
Just a question about resources and if they've purchased them already on the old website, will they be transferred? I don't believe they are. I think we've already asked that you have to have them. Yeah. So you need to go in and make sure you have downloaded everything before we do the transfer. But obviously that's not happening straight away. But yes, you will need to go in and download everything. It won't be transferred.
Okay, so that's a really good question and a point to hit on, and we're now coming into the live question and answer section. We're running a little bit behind schedule. I was got a bit carried away with the Makaton Library, I think, but are there any other questions that you would like to ask before we finish today?
So we've just got lots of, we're very excited. Thanks for all your hard work. Really excited to get started. Everyone just wants to get hold of it. And I think that's the main thing. Like, I think it's very much have a go, have a play. We're all here to support you all. So any problems, drop us emails, use the chat facility on the website, email us, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible and hopefully get everybody through the system as quickly as possible. And somebody actually did did ask a good question, and I think I know the answer, but Stephen might be able to clear it up, or Debbie might be able to help. If they're not relicensing at this present time, so they've already paid for their license, I assume that this is a MSB. Can they still access the library, and how do they can they still access their membership and their library? So I'm sure we'll find a way to get everybody in the system.
Yeah, the same operating process will run as now, that we'll have non-practicing tutors who will be paying you on a sort of holding license. They'll still be able to get into the system, keep themselves up to date, have access and keep themselves fresh, and ready to come back to join the Makaton family, delivering as soon as they're in a place ready to do so. So sort of continuing with the themes that we've been doing in the past.
And we've just got another question here that's actually very good. I think it's important to Jane raised it, and that's when you first log into the system, although it seems very counterintuitive, you put in the email address that we have on record for you. So any correspondence that you get from us, so Makaton News really, or Tutor News, drop that into the user field, username, and then click forgotten username. And what that will do is it will activate your account by sending you an email, and it will then ask you to add a password to your email address, and then you can access the system. So it seems a little bit counterintuitive, but that's the way the system's set up for activation only.
Yeah, and then you'll then see this box appear, and you just pop in the email which you received the Tutor News on, and go through the I'm not a robot, hopefully you're not, and then you would scroll down and press submit, and then that will reactivate your account.
A couple of questions that are on the one is around what will be the cost of the user membership, and what options will people have going forward, just as a quick overview, Hans, so might be worth coming there. And also, will tutors have access to the wider collection when it comes up and running?
So I'll answer the second question first. So will tutors have access to the wider collection? Yeah, that will be something that we'll be reviewing as we go along, and we aim to populate the library as best we can, but we wanted to start off with the core and make sure that was in and correct, because there's a lot of work to be done to the resource vocabulary to make sure that definitive is correct and within there, and we want to put the best quality standards within the library to make sure that everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet. So around the user membership, this will be the membership. This page will be prettied up a little bit more, I must say, but just starting you off, the individual membership will be £60, which works out around £1.15 per week. And the reason why we're not launching it just yet is because we want to get the direct debit in process. So it will mean that people will be able to break it down over 12 months. There will be a slight higher increase in charge, so it will be £5.99 per week, or it will be £60 for a one-off payment for the year. Now, the family group membership would be £90, and that will give you 4 logins, which works around 43p per person per week. And the monthly fee, I believe, is £8.99 per month. Yes. Okay, and within that, they'll have access to all of the core facilities, and there will be user guides on how people add members to their group membership as well. So hopefully that answered that one. Great.
How will people access the video that we've done, and access other trainings that they can have to support?
Right, bear with me. Let me just sign back into the Makaton Library, and I'll show you exactly where you can find that. So at the moment on the website, on the current website, it's housed within the tutor section, but this will all be housed within the tutor page, tutor folder on the Makaton Library. So let me just pop that in there for you and show you exactly where that is. And any sort of tutor resources will be housed in there. So we're working at getting all of the videos, and I am very aware that those videos still have not been updated, but unfortunately what happened is just prior to lockdown, we got all the videos recorded, and we're working with a local college to really support our community network, and everyone got furloughed and was not at work. So we're waiting for them to come back so that they can edit those videos, and we've got some beautiful footage which we can use for the level 1 and 2, so they'll then be updated and housed within the library. Let me show you where you'll be able to find that. So go back onto the snazzy library, you go into the tutor section, again where you'd find the share bank, and you go into the workshop materials. So any workshop materials are all listed within here, and that will be populated and grow as it goes along, and we'll probably notify you about that within the MakaChat facility. So make sure that you subscribe and keep up to date with anything going on so that you don't miss it, but we'll probably email you as well. So there's this information will be added as we go along. So this is all of the current information within the online area. Go back to workshop materials, and then anything to do with level 1 is within here. And as you know, we anything that is downloaded with the workshop materials is now free as well. So if you've some reason misplaced your free download, you can download it again. Okay, so that's that. And within there you've got the video clips as well. So in case, I know a few people may have had some issues with the level 3 videos being embedded, but majority of people have been okay. But if you haven't been, you'll be able to find those videos within this section. So you can play them live from here, or you can download them and embed them yourself onto your PowerPoint, because dependent on which device you're using, it seems to have a few hiccups here and there. But everything will be housed within the library. Very exciting. Okay, so that's that one. Remember that tutor share bank? It's great, going to be a good one, and it will get populated very quickly as well, I can imagine.
And I don't know if you've answered this one, but it's just, will tutors have access to the whole collection, or is it, do they have to pay more for that?
I think that's something that we're going to work out as we go along. There's further work to be done on it, but we will keep you updated on that. I do want to pre-warn you that it's not going to be a quick process, because there is a lot of work to do behind it, which means a lot of funding is needed. But the brilliant thing about this membership is that it's going to really support the charity with being able to redevelop back into the programme, so that we can review it and so that we can add more vocabulary, which we are aware needs to be done within the resource area. So we'll keep you updated on that one, probably via MakaChat and via the tutor, via emails, as and when it's ready, and probably as we're working along with it as well, to keep you up to date too.
Thanks, Sam.
Hopefully that one's answered that one. Brilliant. Yeah. Any other questions for me?
And the final one, I think, to Vicky, is around the logo. Are we changing all the logos?
Yeah, so logos will change as and when we get new materials come up. What we didn't want to do was scrap all of our existing materials, because that would be extremely expensive to the organisation. So going forward, anything online will have the new logo on, and anything that's redeveloped or changed, if we're printing anything, we will change the logo on that going forwards. And you guys, as Hannah's demonstrating, have access to the logo too, the new logo, which I think everyone's delighted about. I've seen lots of comments about how much they love the new logo.
Yay!
And they'll be able to download that in the library. It'll be there waiting.
Yeah. So if you wanted to download it, just to remind you, you can press that tick, press download. I didn't show you how to download, did I? This is how to download. You press the download button, highlight what you want to download. We're going to download it as a JPEG. I'm going to just have a look at it, make sure I'm happy. Yep, that's what I want to download. I'm going to download it now, and as you can see here, it's just downloading as would any other document, and then it will be stored on my computer.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Well, I think that's, I don't know the questions. I think we've powered through about over 100 questions, I think, during that time. So that's brilliant. If anyone else has got any, drop some. You know, you can email us. I don't know which is the best email to send them into.
I think probably via Tutor. Yeah.
And if you just entitle it in the subject bar webinar, we'll know straight away that it's related to here, and we can get Debbie to ping them over to us, and we can answer them for you. But thank you so much for joining us. I think we've loved it. It's been brilliant. I hope you've enjoyed it as well, and hopefully we'll do more of these around other features that come up, and it's just a nice way to just to get the message across, and all of the new things that we're developing. But thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, and make sure you spread the word to the other tutors as well, to let them know what's coming too, for those that couldn't make it today or on Thursday. So hopefully see you in MakaChat.
Bye.
Right then. Take care, everyone. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you again.
Bye.
Right. Nice to see all the chats coming in.
It's lovely. It's really,
Yeah,
really lovely, positive stuff.
Brilliant. Glad that you're all liking the new logo as well. I can have a quick catch up now of what's going on here.
Everyone's loving the logo.
Brilliant.
Yeah, all that
Exciting stuff.